Hi Family 110, it's Sunday. I just wanted to go over the final principles paper grading rubric. This is updated for winter of 2022, and all of the rubrics for our course have been updated. I would say this paper has been updated the most, and so that's why I wanted to go over it now. Um, you won't be receiving this video until December, but I'm recording it early so I don't forget the details. For the formatting, headings and subheadings, it's just all or nothing. They did A, B, C, D, or they didn't. Formatting for spacing, margins, font, all of that. Nothing of the criteria has changed. It's written out here in 8, 4, 8 and 4, or the developing versus minimal. So if it was just one element missing, like they did it in Helvetia instead of Times New Roman, then that would be 8 points off. But if it's a couple of different things or more, then that'll be 4 points off, or 6 points off for 4 points. I've changed on both this paper and I believe any of the major papers. It used to be that excellent or the full credit, we didn't have meanings attached to each of the sections before, but now it's excellent, minimal, or developing and poor, depending on which section you're in. So for excellent grammar in a paper, it needs to have less than 3 grammatical errors, and that goes across the board. And then if the grammatical errors didn't impact the clarity, they were just kind of they weren't careful, then that would be 2.5 points, the minimal. But if the paper's grammatical errors were really robust, is how I put it in the rubric. If it's not showing college level writing, then that's 0 points. This is the biggest change here in the next few sections. So it used to be that there were, I think, 4 sections, and it was application, did a good job, or the description and why the principle is important, and you were to click through for each of those sections. Now it's divided into the first principle, the second principle, and the third principle, right? We've got 3 principles. So all of that is now connected to 25 points per principle. And it also used to be that down here in this bottom section, we said, there's a clear connection between what we learned in class and what they wrote. That's taken away now. It's not taken away from grading. It's just now put into the principle section. So we want thorough, specific descriptions, specific applications, actual examples, detailed explanation of its importance, and a clear connection to the course material. So if they did all of that really well, they received 25 points. It's excellent. They demonstrated an integration of both personal application, course material, met the requirements, thoroughness, application, relevance, everything. Right, it's perfect. And then 5 points off if they demonstrated some of those things, but it lacked like thoroughness or specificity or relevance. They talked about being kind, but didn't really talk about how we talked about the character of Christ. If they don't connect those things, then that would be the 5 points off. And then there's a 10-point minimal. So they did something, but it's really lacking in several of the areas. So that would be the 10 points off. And so I'm hoping this is easier for us to just say, yes, you did that well in the first principle, you didn't do it well in the second principle, etc. And then finally, with the references, it does not have to be APA. That's really, Cole just doesn't care about APA for this course. So if they are talking about something that is very course specific, like the deep needs diagram, the bullseye diagram, or the speaker listener technique, or what's another good one? The character of Christ, etc. If they reference those things and they don't use the author's name, then that's going to be points off. And you can see it there. Anyway, so I would just encourage you to go look through all the rubrics. We're supposed to be using them so we can, prove our grading and not just be giving 100s without an explanation why, or 80s or 60s without an explanation why. Okay, hopefully it's helpful. Thanks.